Hello, listeners. My name is Radosław Młynarczyk, and this is another episode of Investing Pomerania podcast, Business Untied. Today, we will talk about the future of a semiconductor industry because we have a great pleasure of hosting a visit from our friends from Semi Europe. So, joining me today, Laith Altimime from Semi Europe. Hello and welcome.
Good morning.
And Mikołaj Trunin from Investing Pomerania.
Hello.
So, we have to assume, Laith, that not everyone knows, first of all, in Poland, what actually semiconductors are. But
Right.
we won't dive into
Sure.
the technical parts. But not everyone is aware about, well, the existence of semi and
Yes.
what does it do. So, if you could please, talk just a little about the organization itself.
With pleasure. And maybe, as you said, like with the semiconductors, so I think since COVID, semiconductors become, one of the most, popular industries. And what you come to realize is that it's instrumental as the heartbeat of everything we do on a daily basis. So at all generation, everything we do uses semiconductors at home, in office, travel, and so on, which has put a tremendous emphasis on the industry to accelerate, because that has really pushed, the digital transformation, really on a fast track, which means the industry, not to fall through again the supply/demand issue, has to meet that. So therefore, like the expectation is that, the industry will double, to 1 trillion by 2030, and if you can put that into a scope. It has taken 70 years for the industry to reach $600 billion today. And it's to double that in 7 years. So that just gives you the importance of semiconductor on everything we do.
Right.
The great opportunity for Semi is that Semi is the global industry, semiconductor industry association, and it covers the entire value chain, from research and development to materials, to equipment, to manufacturing, to design, all the way up to the system level. And to put that into context, then you provide, for example, chips for automotive, chips for mobile, chips for data centers, chips for like the giant tech companies like, the Google, the Apple, the Microsoft. They all wouldn't exist without semiconductors. So our portfolio, we exist in 7 regions: America, U.S., Europe, China, Taiwan, Korea, Southeast Asia, and Japan. So basically, it's it's where the whole industry exists, and I have the honor and the pleasure to be the president of Semi Europe (EMEA), and as an industry association, we have over 3,500 member companies worldwide, and they go in size, from a university all the way up to, as I said, like big companies like VW Group, Google, and so on. And the most instrumental value that Semi does is that also because of the exponential growth of the industry, it provides the platform to connect across the entire layers of the value chain, because you need to accelerate your business now in order to be able to really keep onto the industry's exponential growth. So I hope that sort of give you the Semi and the importance of the semiconductor industry.
Well, it certainly does. I will get back to you just in a
Of
minute,
course.
because the last part of your answer raised another question. But Mikołaj, we have been a member of Semi for more than a year now. What were our actions together, and why did we join Semi at first?
So it's been like 1 year, and like Semi for us, because Semi is like a global association, because like everybody, like every company which is important for the semicon industry is a member of Semi. Then Semi organizes a lot of different events, different initiatives that are like a fantastic opportunity for us to promote Pomerania, but to promote our region as a place for future investments of the semicon companies, right? So that was like the prime reason, right? So Semi offers us like the opportunity to present the region. What we have done like in the last year, so we've been kind of active, yeah, of course. Our participation at different events globally that Semi is organizing, ranging from Semicon West, then Semicon Taiwan. There was like a Polish pavilion. We were part of it. Then Semicon Europe, where we had our own regional stand, and that we will continue in the future. Semicon Japan, and then at the beginning of this year, we were also like a partner of ISS in Vienna, so Industry Strategy Symposium, like a top European conference on semiconductors issues, right? So, and it's already paying off, as currently we are now closing like one semicon project, which we'll be announcing soon. So that's perfect, yeah.
So many opportunities to just show your faces around the people that are in the industry, or have been in the industry for like ages. Coming back to you, Laith.
Sure.
How open is Semi for IPAs, investment promotion agencies, for the kind of, well, we are not exactly a company, but
right.
we are a self-governance,
yes.
well, projects. How open are you to include the regions
yes.
in promoting the industry?
So very open, in a simple answer. Particularly, outside the US. Within the US, there are regulations that you need to be, to respect. But outside the US, on all other 6 regions, super open. The new business model or the paradigm in the semiconductor industry, it's all an inflection of this, exponential growth, which is underpinned by AI. So the importance is now the industry is really government-led, is governments driven worldwide, and you see like the CHIPS Act, U.S. CHIPS Act, Europe CHIPS Act, Japan, China, and Taiwan, Korea, and the one key like really model that came out of that from the CHIPS Act generally, it has really elevated the importance of collaboration globally. So you need to collaborate, and has demonstrated that is government, policymakers, industry, academia, at all levels, across all regions, they need to collaborate. The investment agency, which generally represent like the interests of the country, it's very instrumental, in order to really be the interface. And I think again, as Nikolai said, if we look at the model we have established, like with the investment Pomerania, and really a short period of time, if we look at a year ago where we are now, we have made a tremendous, progress. And it's Pomerania, but it's Poland, when we talk about, the investments and how Poland is ready. So to answer the question, absolutely open. And now it's become even more so of, like, let's say, member companies of Semi that government investments across Europe, but also worldwide.
Well, that's great that you mentioned what is happening nowadays.
Yes.
So building up on what you've said, and that's addressed to both of you gentlemen.
Sure.
What are the current trends in the global semiconductor market? Because obviously we have been witnessing a huge shift throughout the recent years. You mentioned yourself that it took 70 years for the industry to build up to 60 billion and 600 billion, and now we are targeting another 400 in less than 6 years,
in
right?
5-6 years, yes, indeed, yes.
So where are we going? Maybe not where are we going, but what is happening now in the semiconductor market?
Yes, no, absolutely. I think previously, up until, let's say, the smartphone, it was always one megatrend era. It was like the computing, then it was the internet, then there was the mobile phone. So there was always one application, one megatrend driving, which of course then you need to look at all the technologies and all the chipsets and so on. Now with the acceleration of digital transformation, and that is why I mentioned earlier, like everything is really underpinned by AI. It is data explosion. So it's more connected devices like autonomous driving, smart cities. Everything is going to become like more and more connected world, and it just means like tremendous amount of data, zettabytes of data generated. So what you need to have is you need to have the infrastructure to process this data. One example, like you're transferring from the cloud to edge computing, let's say for automotive, in order to be able to process that amount of data and the speed that's required, so that for the car to make the right decision. This you need like really compute power to do that. Mm-hmm. So AI comes with this let's say the wave of driving this industry growth, and it also comes a tremendous opportunity. I said like collaboration, global level across all layers of the industry. But also it's very important to identify what are the challenges ahead, and these are important because then you can work collectively in a collaborative way to mitigate them, because the industry is global. So if the global challenges slows the industry, it's not just going to be like Europe or Asia or US. It basically is going to like hold the whole global growth moving forward. The megatrend is AI that is really accelerating, that is really driving. And when I say AI, like artificial intelligence, it's basically going to be in everything. Telecommunication, or manufacturing, homes, automotive, medical, industrial. So all these, like everything we do today is basically going to be like multiplied orders of magnitude because of the demand. But of course, then when you go into the challenges, then you look at, this is one of the really key also collaboration that with the Invest in Pomerania is, and Poland as a hub, talent. So this is a challenge. How are you going to get the people? Because also people with new skills are needed. Geopolitics is the one global challenge that it needs to be mitigated. How do you address that? Which means supply chain disruptions is still crucial, not COVID related, but geopolitically induced, which means the more we spread the industry, more countries, more, worldwide, you can mitigate, any future like supply chain disruptions. With that, then of course you become, let's say power, energy that you need. With the generative AI as the next step to take the industry above the 700 billion, which is between now and 2027. You need, like the compute power is expected. It's orders of magnitude what is available today. So with the industry, with the environmental, with the new generation, all focus on environmentally friendly, on environmental impact. Then also the industry scene, it needs to be a part of the solution. So all these really come together, and how do you all collectively and collaboratively work together to reduce these impacts so that the industry can maintain its exponential growth?
So it is of the biggest significance that the industry will change and have to change in the coming years. So it is a chance for Europe, because honestly, the industry was focused on the Asian countries, right? Taiwan, yes. And it still is. But yes. Mikołaj, before we dive into Polish perspectives, what is Europe hoping to gain from this current changes in the semiconductor industry? Because We have like 12 or 10% of global market.
Yeah, the target is like 20% by 2030, right?
Yeah,
so
that's the EU Chips Act.
That's right. So that's definitely the target. I don't know. I know, Laith, if would you agree with me, but I don't think that as a region will ever be independent, right, from global
Never.
supply chain, right? Because then there's a question of different technologies that are being
right.
developed. Still, Taiwan is number one, and probably
Yes.
4 years will be when it comes to all the cutting edge technologies like 2 nanometers technology. I don't know if there is a chance in the next couple of decades to have it developed in Europe, right?
Unless
So,
we just borrow it from our Asian friends, I don't think that it is possible.
So yeah, well, just giving like the bigger picture, I don't think that we'll ever be independent from global markets and other markets, probably like the US. Maybe the US have bigger chance, yes. Much more funding is there, and companies like Intel, Nvidia, right? So they are from there, right? So there might be much bigger push on investments there, right? But then talking about Europe, like this 20%, that will be like, I think, quite substantial growth, right? If it's possible to achieve, and to at least to be maybe independent in these technologies that our industries need, so that we can build like on synergies with, for example, car makers, right, automotive industry.
Yeah. If I may add, so the goal is 20%, but I think I just want to reiterate the statement that made by Mikhail, that the initial thinking was after COVID, we want to be sovereign, we want independent, but the whole world realized this is not an option, because I said like the CHIPS Act really have promoted the global collaboration, and I think supply chain remains a key issue, not to become independent, but to mitigate any potential future disruptions.
Right.
But if you look at the European Chips Act, the US Chips Act, and other Chips Act, there were like different elements of that. The first element was, let's invest in our competitive advantage and make sure that we have the capacity to increase. And you saw Infineon, NXP, Bosch, ST continue to invest billions of dollars to make sure that their competitive advantage, technology, but also capacity is maintained. But also the CHIPS Act, and also like thanks to the tremendous semiconductor ecosystem in Europe, is that this has also been leveraged to attract foreign investments in Europe to complement this supply chain. Right. So that, Intel, across Europe, Ireland, Germany, Magdeburg, back-end is a gap, the investment in Poland. But also you saw other examples, building on the success of what Europe is strong at, the European centers of excellence. And this is, for example, silicon carbide for electrification. One model was like the Wolfspeed with ZF Tier 1, world number 1 Tier 1. ST continued more investment in the silicon carbide in Italy, in Catania. The TSMC, it's a new model. It's really a perfect example of a global collaborative model. It's a TSMC in Europe, in Germany, but it's a TSMC, Infineon, NXP, Bosch. Okay. Right? So it's a nice model that complements what Europe is strong is in, which is automotive and industrial. These are really Europe's centers of excellence. So that has been also used to build on what we have, and also to strengthen European positioning in the global supply chain. The next element that came also as part of the European Chips Act is what was launched a week ago, which was the pilot lines, 4 pilot lines across Europe. Europe, world leader, is in the research technology organization, so the R&D, innovation. And you have the IMEC, Leti, Fraunhofer, across Europe.
Right.
So again, the European Chips Act has under the called the JU, joint undertaking, has announced like a significant investment in 4 new pilot lines. IMEC to focus on advanced technology loan along with their most powerful partnership with the ASML. Leti will focus on FDSOI, low power technology, low power consumption, which is very much needed. When we're talking like the data centers and the power consumption, the power demand. Fraunhofer focus on heterogeneous integration, which takes it like to the package level, because now chiplet has become the most prominent talked about. Again, automotive specific, and then future materials, which is the Italy/Finland university, is on wide bandgap materials. So if you look at that, the first investment is to strengthen European positioning, expand its within the percentage of the global market share, and then you need to look at, okay, we invested, where are the opportunities for collaborative to fill the gaps? Like whether it's design, whether it's like packaging back end, this is what that will. So it will continue to invest, but the timing of Europe's microelectronics ecosystem, from innovation, manufacturing, design to the system level, has proved to be crucial. To attract, to strengthen, but also to attract the new business model for direct investments.
Yeah, but I don't think that we can talk about Europe as a whole, can we? Because, Nikolai, let's face it, the semiconductor industry in Europe is traditionally positioned in Belgium, in the Netherlands, Germany, France, a little bit in Italy, but the Eastern and, the Middle Europe, as whatever you'd like to call it, Poland included, we are not as much invested in the business as the Western countries, of course, because of the geopolitical reasons and so on and so on. So, what opportunities are opening for us now?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I would like to have Europe perceived as one market, right?
Okay.
And I'm like 100% European, and it comes both to economy and politics and so on and so forth, right? So, and of course, like we have different regions, different countries, right, and different characteristics of these countries, different histories, yeah, and that's why, like what you said, right? Because of different reasons, this industry have been developing in different countries, right? And however, now when we see that there's like more projects coming to, for example, to Germany, right? There is like the limitation when it comes to talent pool, right? So these projects will have to spread all around Europe, and Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, maybe Hungary, maybe there are smaller markets, right? But generally, I think Poland will be like the biggest partner for the projects that are underway in Germany, because we talk about the whole supply chain, back-end activities, right? It's close, the market is big, there's lots of people, educated specialists. So we are, let's say, we complement, right? As a,
absolutely, yes.
The Western European markets, that's what I think, and that's our biggest chance.
You've mentioned that the industry, for example, in Taiwan or Japan, is government-driven. Should we here in Poland learn from the lessons taught by our Asian neighbors and start to implement those good practices here? Also?
Yes. So I think, as I mentioned, like the CHIPS Act have become an instrument,
right,
to globally connect, collaborate, which is a level of like collaboration has never seen before. The government's endorsements is crucial because, again, as I said, if you double the industry within 5 years, you need to be part of that wave, and you need to be a complementary part of that wave. So, like US, as you know, like it's also investing and across all levels to maintain a strategic positioning. Europe is the same, but also at the same time, Asia continues to invest. But if you look at the portfolio of countries, this is expanded. Within Europe, Eastern Europe, absolutely. Middle East, absolutely. If you look at Southeast Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam, this is also expanding. And this is important because government endorsements, support, as we know in everything, it's instrumental to accelerate, the strategic positioning of that country because the industry moves so fast. Now, Asia continues to invest. This is also true, but in terms of, one lesson learned is that absolutely government endorsement, government support, it's of paramount importance. How do you connect across, the quadruple helix? Now it's something that SEMI has driven globally with the SEMI International Policy Summit. We launched it in October in the US, and then the second one in Brussels in March. You need to connect these dots, regional, global level, governments, academia, industry, and civil society. Because this is the end result, like that you're doing. Government support is absolutely will continue to be instrumental as never has been in the past, because you need to maintain your competitive advantage and strategic positioning in the global value chain.
Okay, thank you. That is very helpful. That's kind of up to that's our job, right? To be a middleman between the government and companies and organizations like SEMI.
Yes.
So
and maybe if I may just elaborate 1 minute beyond, and again the CHIPS Act, let's say the European CHIPS Act, was a key inflection point, because the European Commission provided funding. But it's also with matched funding from member states, which is governments of these countries, of the European countries. So you already see like this model, and then you could see the other models whereby, European Commission can put amount, the government can say, I can match that, and then the other one is the industry will say, I'm going to match that. And then you have a significant investment that is really moving forward as an industry.
So it's a self-driving machine.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, the last thing I want to, not ask you, but talk about is what's coming in the nearest future promotion-wise, because Semicon Europa, is coming in November, and Mikołaj, can you please give a little hint about our involvement in this trade fair and conference? It's a huge event.
Sure. Generally, the biggest trade fairs in Europe for semicon industry. This year it's co-located with Electronica, right? So really like a big event. We'll have our regional stand, which probably will serve also as like a Polish stand, as well this year. So we are planning, of course, to bring the companies with us, the universities with us. So we're simply building this Polish community for the semicon industry, and Semicon Europa is of course like our key event in that respect.
Yeah, and in March, Laith, the main reason I think of your visit here today, the ISS Europe in Sopot in 2025.
The Industry Strategy Symposium, indeed, and I think this is one product of our partnership with the Invest in Pomerania.
It is.
And again, it emphasizes the opportunity that Poland has and can continue to provide for the industry to continue to grow. And then we moved, for this year and for 2025, 2026, and with the support from the Invest in Pomerania people, they found us a most beautiful spot, like in Sopot.
Right by the sea.
Well, exactly. But so it's this is a product of our partnership, and I think we have both learned so much from this business model that we can easily, as a success story, we can adapt, to your earlier question, invest in, countries, member states. We're honored to host the Industry Strategy Symposium 2025 at the Sheraton Hotel in Sopot, and this will also be the model for 2026.
Well, we'll try to. Well, we not try to, but we'll make as much effort as we can, and even more.
Thank you.
to
Thank you
make-
very much.
to
It's a
make it
partnership.
successful.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, so let's wrap up. That's it for today. My guests today were Laith Altimime from Semi Europe and Mikołaj Trunin from Investing Pomerania. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Radosław Młynarczyk, and that was Business Untied by Investing Pomerania. See you next time.